Hi, it's Roni, and welcome to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Round 9. And if you'd like to post on Instagram, it's hashtag 30DSCBL9 or in the Facebook group. It's also a Punched Out Thursday to die for, so I will be using punches and our dies. Well, actually, I think only dies today. And I am going to use this sketch right here, and it is by Lizaveta, if I said that right at all, but it's for the Keeping the Best blog. So maybe you could go over there and look and judge for yourself how to pronounce it, because I probably butchered it. I'm going to scrap the picture that you just seen of my niece Cherokee, and I'm showing the dies, and I almost forgot this one. It is a Sizzlets one. It's called Classics, and that stamp set over the left, I planned on using it, but I'm going to forget all about it. And the collection I'm using is, well, that sheet in the background is a jelly bean soup one called Soup Bash. But everything else is Simple Stories, Autumn, Vintage Autumn Splendor, maybe. It's this last autumn one anyway. Uh, It looks summer in the photo, but in actuality, it's early October. And I thought I'd go ahead and go with the colors since her shirt does have some of those colors in there. And it was actually that season. Now, looking at the sketch, I was thinking I really need the largest doily at the bottom so I can put my photo with it since it is a 4x6. I thought it needed the bigger one there. And in my head, I was thinking that I just flipped it. But no, if you actually look at the doilies, I didn't just flip it. I just went rogue and put 'em where I wanted to put them. Uh, the die set that I'm using is Hero Arts, and I think it's called Flowers and Bees. It does have bees to go with it. And it was part of, and it was an add-on for one of their monthly kits or something, except for the sprig there. The sprig, I'm not sure what die set that came with, but I did stick it in here with this. And the flowers, I'm cutting them out basically twice so I can get a stem and a flower, and then I'm inking them, and I'm making the center part brown since it is October for my picture, although it don't look it so much. But yeah, it is October, so I thought I'd go ahead and make them brown. And that little thing I'm using to make that brown darker right there is one of those makeup things for the lips. I had purchased, oh, with my Christmas gift card, um, these little dowel looking rods of Tim Holtz with felt on the end. I didn't realize they had felt on the end when I was getting them though. And I like them, but I got to thinking I sure would like some with a point. And I got to thinking about these and thought I'm going to get some just to see. And I like these a lot. And they're a lot easier to handle being able to slant them. Whereas the others, you kind of had to hold them straight up and down to get them to work the way they needed to work. So I think, and it was a cheap investment. I got a whole lot more for the price I paid for the Tim Holtz ones. But so they'll last me a while. I am putting these together, and some of them, like those little round ones, have no stem at all. So I cut out the one with the bud um, and added that to them. And then the bud, I am going to trim the top of the green part off on the bud. So there's some green there. And then I'm going to put the yellow flower behind it on that one so that it'll look like the bud's coming up out of the greenery. And then, let's see. Oh, and one of the little flowers laying there that has no stem, I'm just going to use a couple of the leaves. I'm not actually going to use the stem with it. So I am customizing them to go with what I need. I no more thought that I was done with the inking. and decided that I wanted to ink the doilies too. So I used wild honey on them. And I'm going ahead and putting that one down, and it's going to cover the little space where I put the two pieces of paper together because I only had 6x8 paper. And up at the top, I was not even thinking when I cut that and put it up there. So I will have to make an extra little cluster up the top just to cover the place on the right hand side. Um, I'm adding foam tape underneath the buds of the flowers, but the stems I'm just going to glue down to the layout. And I'm putting that one a little bit over the photo just because I wanted, when I was putting the foam tape on there, I thought, well, it's going to be the same height as the photo. I could do that. And so, yeah, that's what I did. And I'm going to think I'm done with this cluster. And I'm going to start on the second cluster, and then I'm going to end up coming back to it because I wasn't done after all. But while I'm working on my cluster there, I want to mention that down there below will be the links to everybody that's doing Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. Some will actually be doing it every single day, and others will be doing it on the days that they can. And then all my buddies from A Punched Out Thursday to Die For, and they will all be using their punches and or dies. And of course, I'm using my dies on here. Um, those little orange flowers, though, they are from that bottle of flowers, uh, Got Milk. And although I've had it sitting in front of me for months, right there in front of me, trying to remember to use them, I've just recently actually started using them. And I'm so proud of myself because I've had them for years. And I think I got 3 bottles when I got them. I have gave some away, though. But I'm adding the orange ones there, and I did use that purple punch there on the right hand side to make the centers because all those little teeny tiny flowers, none have any centers. And I don't like naked centers on my flowers. I want something there. Uh, I'm working on this cluster and trying to decide how I want it and not sure. You will see me stop, I think a couple of times. I end up stopping on it because I am not sure. But I do finally get it figured out. And yeah, I'm so glad. I thought I was going to have to walk away. Uh, I decided to add one more flower down there at the bottom. That was one of my other stops. And then I went ahead and put some flowers up there while I was thinking. And I wanted one more flower to kind of stick out just a little bit because, more like a wildflower. Like they're not all exactly growing the same. And you all may have noticed I've got 2 of the orange flowers straight across from each other. I did not notice it, not at first. But at the end, when the photos are done, when the close-ups, it will be moved. It won't be there because it'll keep bugging me. And since I will tear the paper just a little bit when I pull it up, it'll have a heart there instead. So a heart on a heart. I was looking at it and trying to figure out what I had that I could put there, and I thought, I like hearts on hearts. So yeah, it will have a heart. Um, like I said, this little cluster here, well, I don't know if I said it on this recording or not because my computer shut down on me and I had to start over. And so I don't know what's back there in the other clips because not all of it saved. Just so y'all know, even though I hit save pretty often, it didn't all save. Anyway, since it is kind of coming out of nowhere, I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I do finally end up figuring it out, and I'm happy with the results. There might have been a better way, but yeah, I'll end up doing something with it. But it will take me a while. I will stop a few times and do a few other things. Um, the little phrases that I am going to end up laying there and using, and that's basically my solution. It is just chilling, the good times, and simply splendid. And they came out of the sticker uh, book. And yeah, my mind went blank on the word book. Can you believe that? It came out of the sticker book, and so I did mount it on cardstock, and so I have an extra layer there, and then I put foam tape underneath them. And as you can see, my chicken wire is going on top of the flowers yet again because twice I forgot to put it down before I put the flowers down. But it's behind the chicken wire. So it works either way. I just prefer it in the background. Now I'm going to work on the cluster that I would not need if I had remembered and paid attention and cut my paper right. I am putting it on that white, very white label. And it's going to kind of, well, right now, it is kind of glaring at me because it is so white. So I am going to end up putting sprinkles on my layout at the end. And I believe I'm going to go back in there and put a few right there on that because there's none, of course, and make it where it's not quite as white. That little flowing banner, it says all the good things, and then the one at the bottom says embrace change. And I'm going to add a couple of little orange flowers and a heart, and then that little tiny cluster will be done. My title is going to go on top of the last doily, and my title is Acing the Hand. The font I used is called Classic, and it has a shadow that goes with it. So I did have to cut two sets out for it. And one is slightly darker shade than the other, but not a whole lot. And the picture, if you look at it, Cherokee's sitting there reading. And she looks like I took the picture while she's reading. No, that's just how it ended up. And she done her hand very coyly. I don't know if that's a word or not, but she was coy about doing it. Anyway, she I had the camera in my hand and I was talking to her and she was being really animate and talking and laughing. And I went to pull it up to take the picture and she turned her head and put her hand there so her face would not be in the photo. Yeah, she done a pretty good job instead of her hand straight up. Her hand looks like, it was there all along. But yeah, I scrapped those pictures. The hand does not stop me, and it don't stop me from putting it in the title either. I do remember back when I had film and I was a teenager and not a whole lot of money. And I took pictures of my family, of course, and my brother would give me the hand. And I'd get so aggravated with him because I would think it was such a waste of film. But, I still have some of those and my plan is someday scrapping them too. But there is my cluster right there. And notice I've took that one flower away that was sitting right next to the other flower and put the heart there. And this is the one on the side that was coming out from a nowhere. And the three little phrase stickers there. And then two now is the little cluster that I would not have needed if I had paid attention when I was cutting the paper. But yeah, that's where the two pieces are connecting. And yeah. And there's the ace in the hand. And it looks like the D moved a little bit on the hand. I might have to go back and check that. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Make sure you check out everybody's links down there below for lots more inspiration. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Try out the sketches. Bye.